Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my answers for the book addiction tag. There are totally 14 questions in this tag and I'm going to answer all of them. And if the original video of this tag actually exists till now, I'll drop a link to the original video in the description so you can check that out if you want to. And also all the questions will be in the description, so do feel free to answer for all the questions because I'd love to know your answers for it. Before getting into the questions, I have to tell this because all the questions in this tag are a bit long, so it's a bit difficult to keep them in mind and reproduce them as such. So I'm just going to read them from my notepad. So don't feel bad about that, okay? Question number 1. What's the longest amount of time you can comfortably go without picking up a book? The honest answer for this one is that it can be maximum a day or two. Most probably a day, because reading has become like one of the most important things in my daily schedule, and it has become like a major part of my life nowadays for the past 6 to 7 months, especially because I've been getting a lot more time after joining work, because I'm not in a need to study right now. So I have a lot of time and I'd like to use it to read as much as I can. So the maximum amount of time which I can go without reading a book is just one day as of now. Question number 2. How many books do you carry on your person or Kindle at any one time? Okay, the answer for this one is I at least manage to take at least one physical copy, most probably a paperback, wherever I go, because anywhere I go you're supposed to wait, right? So I always try to bring a paperback wherever I go. In certain situations it's not possible to take books with me, so I always have them in my phone in the form of audiobooks or eBooks. So when it's a physical book, it's going to be one. When it's going to be a digital book, it's going to be like a library rather than just a single book. Question number 3. Do you keep every book you buy or receive, or are you happy to pass them to make more space? Okay, now this is a tough question, because if I have multiple copies of a single book, then I feel free to pass them on, because I'm an unpredictable reader, if you ask me. Sometimes I feel the urge to read certain books which I love a lot, and they do not come in specific time frames. They just come out of the blue and I have to read the book all of a sudden. So most probably I'd prefer to have all the books with myself, but if I have multiple copies of the same book, then I do pass it on to other people so that I can have a lot more space for the new books which are yet to come. Question number 4. How long would you spend in a bookshop on a standard visit? Okay, this is also a tricky question because most of the books that I buy are online. Okay, I always prefer buying books online because they are way too cheaper than buying in bookshops. I always go to book sales and book fairs. That's out of the question because they are cheaper than online sites, so I go there. But very rarely do I go to bookshops. But the fewer times that I've been to a bookshop, it has taken at least 2 or 3 hours, okay, in normal, and that's a really normal amount of time that I can spend while buying a book. Okay, I remember once while visiting a book fair with my dad. Okay, I and him only went. I predominantly took him for carrying one of the boxes. Okay, there were like 2 boxes. I could not carry both, so he came to help me, and he waited for like 4 to 5 hours that during the time when I filled the boxes. So it takes a lot of time and it's always unpredictable. Question number 5. How much time per day do you actually spend reading? Okay, this is a really easy answer for me. I spend at least 2 hours per day on reading because I want to cover a lot of stuff and I also want to make more bookish videos so that you people can get at least some benefit from it. So I always try to read for at least 2 hours, though even if I'm not in the mood, I try to push myself and read at least for 2 hours so that I can end up reading a lot more than a normal person can. Question number 6. Where does the task picking up a book appear on your daily to-do list? Okay, actually I don't make to-do lists on a daily basis. Sometimes I do. When I have a lot of work to do on the day, then I do to-do lists. But whenever it comes to reading books, it's always a major priority for me. As soon as I finish work, the first chunk of time which is totally free for me, I spend it for reading. And all the time while commuting, I read in one way or the other. Okay, I don't feel embarrassed. I don't feel shy when I want to read, and I just end up reading at least for 2 days every day. Question number 7. How many books do you reckon you own in total, including eBooks? Okay, this is also a tricky question. Okay, I very recently filmed my bookshelf tour video. So if I'm not wrong, I own at least like 150 plus physical books and at least 10 to 20 ebooks. So it'll add on to around 170 to 180. I'm not sure. It'll be around this number for sure. Question number 8. Approximately how often do you bring up books in a conversation? Okay, this is a question which I don't want to answer because I hardly bring up books when I converse with people because I'm like an ultra core introvert, so I don't mostly speak with anyone whom I don't know. Even with people whom I know, I speak very little in normal, and it's a tough thing for me. Okay, if I have to speak to people, I'm going to try to speak about some things they know rather than speaking about just things I know. So I'd rather speak with someone in a normal way rather than speaking about big books because it might make people uncomfortable and I don't want to do that. Question number 9. What is the biggest book by page count you finished reading? Okay, this was the first book which popped up in my mind, and I actually checked Goodreads, so it's a really easy one. It's the Storm of Swords by George R. R. Martin, which is the third book in the A Song of Ice and Fire series or a Game of Thrones series. Okay, it's well known in that name. So this book is nearly 1177 pages long in the original edition, and I have it in a split edition, that is it is present as part 1 and part 2 with me, but if we combine them together it will be huger than 1177 pages because it's such a huge book. But trust me, it's such a great read, and if you watched Game of Thrones, you know why season 3 is so great. It's due to this book. Question number 10. Is there a book you had to get your hands on against all odds, that is searching bookshops, online diggings, etc.? Okay, for this question I should say no, because I've not struggled that much in order to buy any books. Most of the books which I read are from books that are recommended from BookTube and Bookstagram, mostly because these are like huge influences when it comes to my reading. And also apart from that, I just pick up books in random, I just read them. But until now there hasn't been any such book which I've hunted for and bought. But when I see certain rare books for a cheaper price, I don't think at all, I just go ahead and buy them. And most of the time it has been a big money saver as well as a big steal for me, if you ask me. Question number 11. A book you struggled to finish but refused to DNF. Okay, that will be The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I cannot take it out because it's a bit tight in there. So the thing about that book is that it's an adult fantasy, okay, but you can read it as a young adult also because it doesn't have that many adult themes, but the writing style is such that it is a bit tough to read. Okay, I'm not saying that young adult readers cannot read adult books and understand them. I'm not saying that in any sense. It's just that it will be a bit tough to get through. Okay, certain scenes, certain aspects of the story, the writing especially, because it's way too descriptive yet too good, and that's the main thing about this book, which made me take a long time to read. But the story was so gripping, the politics was excellent, that I didn't want to drop it at all. Question number 13. What are 3 of your main book goals for 2020? Okay, I actually have a 2020 reading goals video already up in my channel. It's a really old video, okay, and I'll try to link it up there in the iCard or down in the description so you can check it out if you want to. 3 things which I remember so vividly in my mind are that I should read at least 1 non-fiction per month, which I'm doing really good because I'm gravitating a lot towards non-fiction rather than fiction nowadays because I feel it's so good right now. And the next one is that I should read at least 1 fantasy, which I know that I will be doing, and I have been doing that very successfully. And the third one is that I should read at least 1 tome per month, which I've not done in the past years, though I have read a lot in the past 2 years. I've not read a lot of tomes in the last 2 years. So one of my main goals was to read at least 1 tome per month, and I've been doing great in that also. So these are 3 of the goals, but I think I have 5 goals, of which 2 I don't remember right now. So you can check the video if you want to. Question number 13. Have you ever had the privilege of converting someone into a reader, maybe via inspiration or incessant nagging? Okay, the answer for this one is a half yes. Okay, actually my brother, he's also a really good reader, but he doesn't read to such a great extent. Okay, he's a normal reader. He reads at least like 1 or 2 books every month in a regular way. But after I started nagging him very incessantly, and I used to like I would be pestering him in order to read more. And during this lockdown period, he actually read 10 to 15 books within 10 to 15 days. That was excellent. I have not even done that in my entire life. And he also finished 1 entire Tamil series, okay, Tamil book series of 5 books in 7 days, which was like really horrible. Okay, I can't do that ever in my life. I don't think I can do that ever, because I've been reading the series also, but I've covered only 2 books, and it has taken me like over 6 months to cover those 2 books itself, though they are so great. So I do have the privilege of converting a person into a reader. Question number 14. This is my most favorite question of all, and it is: describe what books mean to you in 5 words. Okay, this is what books mean to me. In 5 words, I can express it is the best reason to live. Okay, the best reason to live. Books are one of the main best reasons to live, if you ask me, rather than many other things in our life. And I'm sure that most of you who are watching this video also might resonate with me in that sense, because a reader lives 1,000 lives. That's so true. Okay, and if you're not a reader, please do try to become one, because you're missing out a lot if you're not one. And I'd highly recommend you to read a lot and lot more. That's the point of this channel actually. And don't forget to answer some of these questions or all if you want to in the comment section below. I'd be so happy to read all of them and know more about yourself as my audience. And that's it for today. If you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.